Hey guys, welcome to Nate and Greg's World. Today on this episode, we start our series on men's mental health. In this episode in particular, we're going to be discussing a lot about anxiety and depression, so stay tuned.
I got no voice to pick with you.
Hey guys, so as we mentioned just a short second ago there, we are discussing men's mental health. Nate and I have decided that we are going to do a complete series on this that we're going to keep going up until June, which is actually going to be Men's Mental Health Month.
Men's Health Month.
Men's Health Month in
But
June.
mental health is in there.
Yes, absolutely. And we're going to focus a lot on the mental health. This is a subject that is not talked about a whole lot, but definitely needs to be talked about. We actually did a little episode there a while ago on suicide, honest talk about suicide, and it went over quite well. And we decided then that we wanted to do more talks on men's mental health. And so that's what we're up to today. And we're going to be talking a lot about anxiety and depression in this episode in particular. So do us a favor, make sure you hit that subscribe and bell icon down below. Follow us on all of our other platforms that we have, as well as wow, I just kind of lost it right there.
Like, what are we on?
Yeah, what we're on, all our audio platforms. Make sure you follow all that. All right. But also leave a comment down below. We want to hear from you. Okay. This is a very serious topic. We're still going to try to have a little bit of fun with it. Okay. It's not all serious. And we do want to stress right here at the very beginning, while Nate may be a addictions and mental health counselor, what you hear in this, do not take it completely to heart and self-diagnose yourself. Make sure that if you are feeling like anything that Nate and I are talking about today, go get a professional. Go talk to a doctor. Get some help, okay? Back in the day, it was always assumed that men would just go and just man up and
Man up, that's right. Suck it in.
Yep, suck it all up.
Push it down to the
Absolutely.
bowels.
Yep.
And shit it out.
Drink your cares and feelings away and stuff like that. Folks, we've learned that is not the way to deal with stuff.
No.
Okay, you need to get out. You need to talk about this stuff. So please, if you're feeling like what we're talking about today is affecting you in any way, shape, or form, please seek medical help. All right. Mental health is a major, major thing that needs to be looked after. If you cut your arm off, you would go seek medical help. Well, if you got something going on in your brain, you need to get medical help, or else you're just going to bleed out.
And when you hear the statistics, you'll understand you're not the only one.
No.
There's a lot.
Yeah, and actually, as a matter of fact, both you and I have both suffered or lived with a lot of mental health issues.
I've had mental health or mental illnesses, I guess, since I was a kid.
Yep.
I've always had issues. So, yeah, no. And it's hard. Like, I know when I was younger, I had a really hard time talking about it. I had a really hard time. Like, I think I grew up still within that time period where, guys don't complain. They don't cry. They don't, you know, if you have issues, you just keep them in.
Yes.
Right? That's your man. Suck it up. Life sucks. Get used to it and move on. Right? So it was really difficult to tell friends, to tell family, to tell anybody, like, listen, like, I'm emotionally messed up in my head. And from time to time, I hit walls or I hit bottom or whatever. And it takes me a while to get out of that. So, but yeah, I hope that through this talk, especially, I think it's important that guys talk about it.
Yeah.
Because, I think as more the men talk about it, the more they understand that it truly is an illness.
Yes.
It's a sickness. It's like you can't help it. It's like if you get cancer, you don't get embarrassed to go to the doctor to get treatment for cancer. You just go get treatment.
Yes.
Right? You're not embarrassed about it. If you, get the flu, you lay in bed and whine for 6 days if you're a man like I am.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? And you
because
take
it's not
medication.
the flu, it's the man cold.
It's the man cold, exactly. And, but we don't have a problem with like whining and crying about the fact that we have a man cold.
Yeah.
But there's just something, I think, that men have a difficult time saying. I don't know whether it's they think it makes them feel weak. I think that's part of it. The other part is it's hard to admit that you don't have complete control over how your brain is working.
Yeah.
And how you're feeling, right? So, and a lot of it is they don't understand. They don't get it, right?
Yeah.
So, definitely, I know I gave you a statistic just to put things to people worldwide. I know we're going to talk about men. This is the only worldwide statistic we have.
Yeah.
But it was like, I'll let you read it because I don't remember exactly.
Well, and the thing is right now, depression is the third leading cause of disease burden.
Right.
Okay. So that means that a lot of the financial support, okay, is going towards depression.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the money in the world right now that deals with health and anything like that, number one is cancer.
Yes, just to give people an idea of what we're talking here.
Yeah, so all the financial support and backing from all around the world, whether it be through trying to find cures, proper ways to diagnose or treat and stuff like that. Number one is cancer, and depression is sitting at third.
Yes,
right now.
For now.
Because as of 2030, or they are predicting that in 2030, depression will be the number one disease burden.
Yes.
Meaning that most of the money in the world when it comes to health will be going towards depression.
Yeah, which is, it's astronomical. Like when you think about the cancer crisis right now, how much money gets pumped out for cancer.
Yes.
And now they're saying, depression is going to overtake that. It's going to overtake heart disease. It's going to overtake everything.
Yeah.
Right? And so when you sit back and you feel depression setting in and you feel that sense of weakness as a man, like I shouldn't feel like this. I shouldn't feel depressed and tired and whiny or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But then when you look at that, it's the number 3 and going to be the number 1. There's millions, billions, whatever out there of people that are suffering with it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not alone.
No.
You shouldn't be embarrassed. You need to go get treatment. You need to go get the help.
Yes.
So that you can get rid of it and get healthy again and move on, just like any other disease. So any other illness.
Absolutely. No, because I know that I have definitely suffered from severe depression and anxiety, having been diagnosed with PTSD from my time in the military. And I know that we've discussed this before on previous podcasts. I've dealt with the depression and it is absolutely crippling. There's been days that I won't get up off the couch. I don't want to get up off the couch. I don't want to do anything. And, I get that. Why bother?
Yep.
It's something that you can't just tell somebody, well, just fucking suck it up. Suck it up, bro. Fucking go.
No.
That doesn't work. It doesn't work at all.
Well, that's like somebody having cancer and you say, oh, just suck it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like you don't do that.
No, it's a long, hard struggle. And I know there's a lot of people out there. And I know for myself, when I heard that other people had depression, I'm like, oh, great. So they're fucking sad. Well, cheer the fuck up. Here's a birthday cake, fuck off. But that's not how it works. It's not how it works at all.
No, and I think that where people get confused, okay, there's two different types of depression, really, when you look at it. So the medical depression, so when you are actually diagnosed with depression, it's MDD, which is major depressive disorder. And if you have that, you are depressed for a long period of time and there's no real reason. It's not that something's happened necessarily in your life to make you sad or, whatever, but you are depressed and you're depressed for at least, I think, according to the new, and like I say, I try to keep up with all this shit, but basically if for a 2-week period you're depressed, right? Or have signs of depression, you're considered to have major depressive disorder.
Right.
Right. Some people might have it for 2 weeks, a month. Other people might have it for years.
Yes.
And again, it's a medical thing. It's not something that's happened to you. The depression that people link to depression is what we call situational depression.
Yes.
So situational depression is like, my dog died, I'm sad today. Situational depression is I got divorced and I'm really upset about it.
Because I have to pay a shit ton of money.
That's right.
Not that I got rid of the wife, but
yeah. Some might be happy, others not so happy, right?
Yeah.
So that's situational depression, and that's not a medical thing. Now, sometimes people have situational depression. They still need help to get over.
Yes.
Like a lot of people with divorce, losing their jobs, things like that. They may have to go to a counselor to get some help to get through that, or they might need a run of medication to try to, like what I call my happy pill, right? To at least get you out of bed.
Yes.
So you can function during the day. But there's a huge difference between situational depression, which is that suck it up, get over it, move on, right? That everybody thinks of about depression that have never really understood what medical depression is.
Yes.
Because medical depression isn't situational. It's not about what you're going through.
No.
Right? You're sick. You have a chemical imbalance in your brain. You got something going on that's not right up there. And it makes you, well, actually, just really quickly, like for depression, since we're talking about how it feels.
Yeah.
And it's important to say too, again, like Greg said, we're not experts, and I'm not saying this list is the be all and end all, because in my experience, and I've had years of experience, everybody has a little bit of a different feeling.
It affects everyone just slightly differently. There definitely are the common signs and symptoms that, you know, everybody who actually is genuinely afflicted with this will suffer with, right? Or live with.
Yeah.
And I keep wanting to say live with, right? Because yes, you can be suffering from it, but this is your life. You're having to live with this, going through it. And I kind of want to put that on.
Well, I always tell people, because I talk to families almost as much as I talk to patients that I'm treating. And when I talk to families, because they'll often be like, I don't understand. I've never been depressed. I don't know what they're feeling. And I always tell them, and this is something that can be empathetic with the people that are depressed, because I've had depression, so I know how it feels.
Yeah.
And I always tell them there's no real way to explain it, but the best thing I can offer is don't sleep for an entire week.
Yes.
Don't go to bed. Just stay up and keep moving. And at the end of that week, strap about 100 pounds or 200 pounds to your back, and then go to work for the week on no sleep and lugging all that weight around. And you'll get an idea of what it is to have medical depression. And this is what some people never get over. They always feel that exhaustion, right? And that's not the only, unfortunately, the only thing you get, but that's a part of it.
Yeah.
So really quickly, the main thing that they report when people are depressed are loss of energy. So like exhaustion, lethargic, like what you talk about, hard to get off the couch. You just want to sit there, right?
Yeah.
Like everything in you is saying, I'm not fucking getting off this couch.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it today, right?
Absolutely.
And you feel completely exhausted, like you haven't slept in days. Changes in appetite. So again, this is different from everybody. So some people won't eat at all when they're depressed.
Yeah.
Right? So they lose a ton of weight. Or there's the other half that all they do when they get depressed is eat.
Yeah.
Emotional eating.
And I got to tell you, I am definitely an emotional eater. I don't know if anybody hasn't noticed by looking at the cameras, I am definitely a bigger man. And this is a lot of it. Okay, there was some just, I'm having a good time. But a lot of it, actually, I fully believe was from a lot of depression, because I am that, I like to say I'm that stereotypical movie chick.
Yes.
Right? That, oh my God, I'm sad. Give me the tub of ice cream.
Yeah.
That's me. That's where I go. Yep. Right? I'm getting the food, and it's got to be in me.
And see, with me, it's quite often the opposite.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat. And I don't know if it's my appetite or that I'm just so tired.
Yeah.
I can't be bothered. It's like even the thought of chewing food and swallowing seems too much.
Well, and here's the dilemma that I find that I get in sometimes, right? I am an emotional eater. So I'll sit there on the couch and be extremely emotional going, I need something. I got to eat. I got to eat. I got to eat. But then I'm so depressed and upset and tired that I can't get my ass up off the couch to go get that something to eat.
Yeah.
And then I get upset that I can't get up to go get something to eat, and then I get upset because I'm not eating anything, and then it's like, okay, it's
It's
that
a nasty
vicious cycle.
Yes, that's a nasty cycle.
What was it? The fat bastard said, "I eat because I'm sad. I'm sad because I'm fat, and I'm fat because I eat. But
Yes.
I eat because I'm vicious cycle." You know, that is me.
Yes,
That is definitely me.
Yeah, and that's a
You
lot
know?
of people, right? And
Yeah.
some people, they have the opposite issue where they'll lose so much weight it gets really unhealthy.
Yeah.
Like they'll go to skin and bones just because they can't eat. They can't even think about it.
Yeah.
Right? So change in sleep patterns. So again, this is two ways. Some people, all they do is sleep all day, all night. Like
Yeah.
they just can't get enough.
Yeah.
No matter how much sleep they get, they always feel exhausted. If that's the case, it could also be diabetes, just to let you know.
Yeah.
Quite often is. So
Yeah.
get checked out. But
So if you've been emotionally eating,
that's right. That could have caused the
check
diabetes.
that shit out.
Yeah. Or you can get to the point where you don't sleep at all.
Yeah.
You just can't, which is an issue. And I had that happen in my life where I went through a time where I was what do you call it? Insomnia. I had insomnia, right? And I actually had to be hospitalized, and they had to give me tranquilizers
Yeah.
because I was up for so long. I was starting to hallucinate.
Right.
Right. And I went to the hospital and I said, listen, I can't sleep. I've tried every sleeping pill.
Yeah.
I even had like what you're not supposed to do. And I didn't say this, but I took friends' sleeping pills that were really strong.
Yeah.
And I got tired, but my body would not allow me to sleep.
Yeah.
And the hospital said, oh, we'll take care of that. And they gave me some pills.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it's not going to work. They said,
No.
no, this will work. Trust me, it'll work.
Yeah.
It didn't work. So the next night, the doctor came in and tranquilized needle in the butt. And then I went out.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was fine. It was like it restarted everything
Yeah.
for me, right? So
Yeah.
both, again. Loss of sex drive. Okay.
I can definitely attest to that.
Yeah.
I can definitely attest to that. There's been a long time where it's just like, no.
Yeah.
No. Just can't be bothered.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of guys that can't perform when they're really depressed or full. Anxiety is huge for that. There's a large number of men out there that have so much stress and anxiety in their life, they can't perform. It shuts that all down on them.
Yeah.
Right. And then that just causes even more depression and anxiety.
Yes.
Right. Again, getting
Because-
into a cycle of worse.
Well, because right there alone, right, not being able to perform,
Mm-hmm.
right, not being able to at least get in the mood
Mm-hmm.
to even attempt to perform,
Mm-hmm.
right? Well, then that's like a big shot at your manhood. And
It is.
I'm not just talking about your junk. I'm talking like you as a man,
Mhm.
right? It's absolutely huge. So if
Absolutely.
you're not being able to perform or you're not being able to have any sex, right?
Yeah.
You just can't, whatever, for whatever reason, whether it's getting started, getting through it, whatever,
Finishing, yeah.
whatever it is, that's a shot at your manhood.
Mhm.
And it's all because you're, got the depression, you got the anxiety. Well, then that's just going to add more depression and anxiety to you because you're not being a man,
Right.
right?
Or you're not
That's
able-
what you feel in your head.
Absolutely. You can't satisfy your girlfriend, your wife,
Yep.
anything, you start to worry about that.
Yep.
I mean, I know like the first package I send out to clients all the time, that's one of the questions, or part of it is
Yeah.
talks about sex life. And I know a lot of men that, and I get it, a lot of
Yeah.
men that have a hard time discussing that.
Absolutely.
Right.
Nobody wants to
They
discuss
don't want to
it.
talk about it. And where women I find are much more open about it.
Yeah.
They'll be like, like I'm dry, I don't get wet.
Yeah.
Like, I have to use lubricant. That embarrasses me.
Mhm.
Because I feel bad because my partner feels bad, like they can't get me going, but it's because
Yeah.
I'm in this situation, right? Or I don't feel like having sex. I'm not having orgasms at all,
Yeah.
that kind of thing, right? And
Not just because of him.
right. It's not just exactly. So
Haven't found that spot.
exactly. So it goes both ways, but it's a hard thing to talk about. But
Absolutely.
I mean, again, you're not alone,
No.
and it's not. You're just you can fix it.
I can honestly tell you, for myself, it's been a long time since I've actually been interested. It's
Yeah.
been a long, long time. Like,
Mhm.
don't get me wrong. There are days that come up and I'm just like, oh, yeah.
Mhm.
And that's like, okay, here's the opportunity.
Yeah, but
No.
it's
No,
already
that's
10.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be going to bed in 2 hours. I don't want to get going with that, and that's something that goes and plays in my head, and then I get upset about that, and I've even gone to my wife. I'm like, listen, you want to find a friend, fucking do something, because
But you're also
You know.
a very busy person,
yeah,
right? You're running around the clock.
Yeah.
So when you get to bed, it's bedtime,
oh yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And that's hard too. Like it might not even be depression or anxiety or PTSD. It might just be
Yeah.
like I'm fucking tired.
oh, there is definitely that aspect,
You
and
know.
there has been those nights, but
Yeah.
then there's been the other nights where it's just like, no,
Yeah.
no, not at all.
That could be partially because you're over 40 now too.
That too.
Yeah, it
I've
starts to
I've,
slow libido.
I've eaten wedding cake. Because we've all been told, you eat wedding cake, sex drive's gone, right?
That's right. Yeah,
So, I've been to a lot of weddings, and I've eaten a lot of. That's got to be it. Fuck it.
probably.
Not a mental illness. It's the wedding cake,
Right.
fucking poisoning. That's what it is.
That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and I mean, it's not really, like I tell guys, like when we do talk about it,
Yeah.
once they're over feeling uncomfortable about talking, right? Because then it all comes out.
Yes.
And I try to tell them, like, it's not because a lot of it, like I get more than they're embarrassed about the fact it's happening to them. They're more worried about the fact that they're not satisfying their wife or their
Yes.
significant other, right? And
Yeah.
that is hurtful, and they get nervous about that because they're like, I don't know if they think that I think they're not attractive anymore or whatever. And I just say, well, have that conversation.
Yeah.
Just say, I'm struggling right now. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm going to make it better. I'm going to fix it.
Yeah.
But right now, I mean, I can do my best.
Absolutely.
And it'll happen when it happens, right? Because normally, especially with sex drive, that's something that is cyclical with mental health.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's forever. Like you do go through
Yeah.
spurts of, oh wow, I'm horny now,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And then
Yeah.
it's good for a while, and then
Yeah.
and there is tons of medication out there because believe it or not,
Yeah.
we put a lot of research into how
Yeah.
to get an erection better in this society.
And that's the funny part too, because I know, like with myself, there's no problem getting myself started,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a big problem just trying to go through with the act.
Yeah.
That's a huge problem for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's
Yeah.
ways, there's things you can try.
Yeah.
Like, there's obviously the pill route.
Yeah.
There's injections. There's some guys, honestly, if you're over 40 years old, man, go get your testosterone levels checked. Most men over 40, they say now the majority do not produce testosterone. They have like the testosterone of like an 80-year-old.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then fixing that is more just taking a needle in your butt once a week and boosting your testosterone.
Yeah.
And then you'll be
In the butt cheek.
then in the butt cheek. Well,
Yeah.
whatever, it still gets to the blood, I guess. I just don't know if I'd go that way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, it's an injection once every other week,
Yeah.
however much you need to take. But then you'll be walking around like a 20-year-old with erections all the time again. So
Oh fuck! Do you remember that?
yeah, I loved it.
You know what? I gotta say, I was an uncomfortable teenager going through high school because I had the one girl that sat beside me in math class there, and I'd stare at her the whole time, just going, "Oh my god, I love you." Teacher would be like, "Hey, you want to come up to the board and write this?" No, I don't.
Yeah,
I
that's
do not
right.
fucking want to do
That's
it.
right.
No, you need to get up here. No, I don't need to get
Yes.
up there. You can fucking wait out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, the good old days.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Just a cool breeze. Oh, there we go.
So yeah, but those are some things. And then obviously like the little things, like if you're always feel like you're sad or lonely
Yeah.
or down or anything like that, like, and there's a million. The other thing I want to say, especially with anxiety and depression, there are so many different tests you can do online on a reputable medical site,
Yes.
and they take you through a list of questions. It's just a simple check mark system, and if you score a certain thing, they say, listen, at the end, again, it doesn't diagnose you,
No.
right? Those are not meant to you go to a doctor to get diagnosed,
Yes.
or a psychiatrist preferably, but because quite often doctors just use those check mark things, and right, because doctors aren't
Yes.
psychiatrists, but
Psychiatrists, psychologists.
something
check
like
them
that,
out.
yeah, where they can really
An
talk
actual
to
head
you.
doctor.
A head doctor, exactly, a shrinker.
Yeah.
But they, you can still take those tests online. It gives you a good idea.
Yeah.
And it'll score you and say, you know what? Yes, you should really go seek medical help. it looks like you might have depression or anxiety or
Yeah.
whatever you're testing for at the time. They have ones for PTSD. They have ones for schizophrenia, for personality disorder, for mood disorder, for all different shit.
Yeah.
So definitely that I recommend 100%. Just make sure it's a reputable medical site.
Yes.
But all you got to do is put in depression test for depression, and
Mhm.
it'll come up with whatever test. Test for anxiety, it'll come
Yeah.
up with. So you just got to
Yeah.
type that in. That's it. You can
Yeah.
check it out.
Do the test, take it as a warning,
As a warning.
and then go and get yourself professionally looked at.
Yeah, take it as a reason to call the doctor and make an appointment.
Yeah.
Right? Or just make the appointment. Forget the test, just
Absolutely.
make the appointment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's depression. What I found is, so statistically right now, I went with the main ones for 2020, 2021, statistics,
Yeah.
facts, all that stuff.
That was a lot of 20s, just saying.
Yeah.
2020, 2021,
2020. 2020. So they say that so 50% of men have mood disorders or some types of mood disorder, which means
Yeah.
like depression, anxiety, different whatever. Can't control your mood is basically what that
Yeah.
means. Okay. 50% of men never ever go get checked out.
Yes.
So even some of these statistics that I have here aren't true, because what they're saying is these are just the men that get found.
Yes.
And if 50% of men never seek help, because again, it's that I'm a man
Yeah.
bullshit,
Yeah.
right? And it's amazing, because what's amazing about that is if you go and you find out, like, yes, you do have depression.
Yeah.
Usually it's only a couple of months of treatment and you're back in
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
And then you're like, fuck, I've been doing that for 10 years now.
Yeah.
Battling this crap and trying to be tough.
Yeah.
And that's all I had to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So,
yeah.
You did the world one. So when it comes to, 75% of all suicides in Canada, so this is a Canadian statistic, 75% of suicides in Canada are men.
Yeah.
So we take up 75%, which means 25% women. I don't think they threw in the other genders, so I think they're just doing a man-woman thing here. 50 men a week die from suicide in Canada. So every week, 50 men have killed themselves in Canada, which to me is just such a...
It's a travesty.
It awful.
Really is.
When you think about like how many people that is. Like Canada's not the U.S. Like anybody listening in the U.S., there's 300 and whatever million people.
Yeah.
Right? Canada's a relatively small population.
Yes.
So when you think 50 men are offing themselves every single week.
Yeah.
It just, to me, that's awful. The British Columbia Coroner's Office put out a statistic saying that 81% of overdose victims are men.
Yeah.
So 81% of the people that are dying from drug addiction and stuff because of depression are men. Not all, but the majority is because of depression or anxiety, some type of mental health issue, right?
Yes.
63% of men between the ages of 18 and 34, so 63% between 18 and 34 experience considerable loneliness and isolation. That shocked me.
That's crazy.
Like when you think about that in numbers, 63% feel lonely and isolated all the time, men.
Yeah.
And again, I think a lot of that is because when women feel like that, they're able to reach out easier.
Yeah.
Like they'll join a group.
Yeah.
Or they'll go to like a group therapy thing, or they'll, you know, whatever it is, they'll figure it out, or they'll talk to their best friend, or they'll talk to their mom, or they'll talk to whoever.
Yeah.
Because they're more open about it. Where men, again, will suck it up, swallow it.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to go cry to anybody.
Yeah.
Because I'm a man.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and that's the thing. That narrative needs to change. It really does need to change. Like just looking at the stats alone, clearly there's a fucking problem.
A huge problem.
So you know what? Man up and get yourself checked.
Yeah. Well, and that's the
You know what?
like that's the thing to do, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay, fucking sucking it back, you know, trying to push it all down, just fucking power through whatever is going on in your head, whatever emotions you're dealing with and stuff like that, and just going, I can handle this myself. That's not fucking manning up.
Yeah.
Manning up is actually going, you know what? Got a fucking problem.
I got to do something about
Be
it.
a fucking man. Fucking sort your shit out.
Well, listen, it's no different than, if you think about, if you're a man,
Yeah.
right, the traditional man, I guess now
Yeah.
they call that toxic masculinity,
Yes, yes.
but the traditional man, if there's a problem in the family or with
Yeah.
the house, a man fixes it.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? It's no different. If you're having a problem, fix it.
Exactly.
You're sick.
Yes.
You're not broken. You're
No.
not a whiner.
No.
You're not
You're
a
injured.
wimp.
You're injured.
You have an illness.
Yeah.
Like the flu. You go to sleep and cry when you have the flu.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's no different, right?
Yeah.
So 1 in every 10 men experience anxiety and depression.
1 in every 10.
1 in every 10.
That's still,
But again,
it's a little shocking, but
But you got to remember, 50% of men never come forward.
that's true.
So 1 in 10 is what's reported.
Yeah.
But if it's true that 50% they figure that don't come forward, that makes it, 5 in 10? 5 out of 10?
Yeah.
Because the majority. Now, this 1 in 10, you're also talking about extreme,
Yes.
right? Because is a spectrum. Like there's slight depression.
Yeah.
Like, little bit of mood disorder, a little bit of, I'm down for a while.
Yeah.
And then there's like, holy fuck, like, can't function depressed or anxiety, right? So the 1 in 10, I think, goes more to that, holy fuck, I can't, function in my day-to-day life.
Yeah, exactly.
Type thing, right? So, but still, even 1 in 10.
Yeah.
So what's the population of men in Canada?
It's,
a couple million?
no, and
Like,
it's just sad. It's like all these stats fucking make me sad.
It's-
That this is where it is, and I'm really glad that we're bringing up these stats. I'm really glad that we're going to be running this entire series to explore this more, and I'm really, really hoping that a lot of men will actually sit down and pay attention. Like, not just because I want fucking views. Fuck that. I'd rather make sure that people are hearing what's going on out there, whether it's the stats, whether it's just that little bit of information that we have, to have some of these men go and actually go, you know what? I've been quiet long enough. I'm going to speak up. I'm going to go and say, I've got a fucking problem here.
absolutely.
I'm going to go get myself checked, or fucking, you know what? I don't know that I am, but something has been a little off. I'm going to go and I'm going to talk to somebody. As long as they can get some fucking help, right? I want to see that fucking suicide rate go way the hell down.
Yeah, that's scary.
Okay. I've lost a bunch of people in my life there that have gone and committed suicide. They had their reasons. I personally don't believe in suicide. Doesn't mean I haven't had suicidal thoughts. I have had plenty of suicidal thoughts, but I can't go through with it. It's just something that I can't do. But I understand why some people would want to.
I do too.
I understand why some people would want to. I would like to see it where people would go and find a different course of action. I would really like to see a different course of action come down, because these stats are absolutely horrifying of what's going on.
Yeah. And I think it's keeping in mind that people that commit suicide, that is their best option.
Yes.
To them, in their mind.
To them, yes.
Not in reality, but in their mind, that is their best and only option.
Yeah.
People don't do that lightly.
No.
They've been thinking about it a long time. And I know we're going to do a thing on suicide, so I don't want to get too much into it, but I always like to tell people, with friends, family, people that suicide is not always an obvious thing to see in somebody.
No.
Quite often it's very difficult. What you have to look for with family and friends is any change in their mood. Some people that have decided to commit suicide suddenly become very happy.
Yeah.
When they've been really sad. So they're like, that friend that never wants to go out and do anything with you because they're I'm just tired, or I don't feel like it tonight. And you're like, man, Greg is always down. He's always a bummer, right?
Yeah.
And then suddenly Greg is calling you and saying, hey, man, You want to go and get some drinks and have some fun?
Yeah.
Man, let's go. And that's one of like the big signs you got to watch for those changes, because a lot of people would be like, oh, Greg's happy.
Yeah.
His life must be good. Oh, right on. It's good old Greg again. We're going to go have fun. But why he's happy is because he's finally settled on the decision.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah.
So now he's happy.
Yeah.
And so he wants that one last hoorah with his friends to say goodbye.
Yeah.
And that happens so often.
Well, and just look at it, right? Look at all the comedians that have gone and committed suicide. And like one of the big ones for me was Robin Williams.
Yeah.
I was blown the fuck away when he went and committed suicide.
Yeah, because he's always Mr. Funny.
Yeah, he was always Mr. Funny. Like he was a personal hero for me for a long time, right? Like if there was one person that I could have gone and hung out with for a while, it would have been Robin Williams. Like he was just amazing. And then to go and see that he committed suicide because he was dealing with depression, it just blew me the fuck away. But no, I'm really hoping that anything that we're talking about, anything that we're saying, people will be, they'll fucking get it,
And I think too, like really quickly, like I don't want to get, you'll get treatment options when the time comes. But the thing because we're talking about men and because of, how men are.
Yeah.
And I can say that because I think I'm a man.
Yeah. I checked once or twice.
Sometimes they get, Have you?
Well, I haven't checked you. I've checked myself.
Okay, I was going to be like, were you the one there that's the other night?
Well, there was that one time.
That one time, but yeah.
That one time at band camp.
But it's important for men to understand with treatment, okay? Well, I think a lot of them, that's another barrier to them getting treatment is because they think they're going to be in a room with a bunch of other guys or with one-to-one with a therapist that's like, all like, oh, everything's okay. The world is great. Let's talk. Yes, there is those forms of treatment. Yeah. And if it works for you where you sit in with a room of other guys and cry and hug it out, that's great. Yeah. No problem. But I think that's a barrier for a lot of men. Like, I'm not going to go talk about my problems in front of a group and cry and then watch other guys cry. Yeah. Like, are you kidding me? That's so uncomfortable. So it's important to understand that there are so many different types of treatment, right? Yes. Like, yes, there's the medication route. Now, that should be a last resort. That shouldn't be your first resort. But some people need that just as a little bit of a kick.
As a Band-Aid. As a Band-Aid to stop to control the bleeding.
Well, also some people, that's like their start. Like, they're in a rut, and then they take a little bit of a happy pill, and it boosts them up to feeling good again, and then they're okay, and then they can go off the medication and they're good. Yeah. Some people have to stay on that medication long period. Yeah. But again, that's another barrier. People are like, oh, the doctor's going to want to pump pills in my stomach, right? Yes, doctors will talk to you about medication, but they're not going to force it down your throat. Yeah. But I also should say that sometimes those medications are what the answer is. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, just like if you have high blood pressure, guess what? You're going on
pills for a while.
Pills, right. Yeah. Same thing. So, but there's all kinds of different types of therapy. There's different types of whatever you can do. Like, there's a million different ways of dealing with depression, anxiety, and getting yourself back to feeling better.
So just quickly though, because I know we discussed like a lot of the signs and symptoms of depression itself. Mm-hmm. What are some of the anxiety signs and symptoms? So again, because I know we started to talk about anxiety, but then we had our squirrel moment where we kind of started going off on some different stuff, and
Well, and it should be important to say that quite often anxiety and depression play a part together.
Yes.
And a lot of the feelings can cross over. Mm-hmm. So anxiety is sometimes a little bit harder of a one because, again, even more so than depression, anxiety can come out in so many different forms in the body. Like, some people, their joints ache. Yeah. Right? And that's how their body deals with the stress. Right. Right? So it's like a physical joint ache. Like, from that to what the norm of what I'm going to read here, the normal kind of things they look for. Yeah. But it's important to understand that anxiety plays such a massive game with your body physically. And that's the main problem with it. It's like you can have any number of physical issues that start happening out of nowhere because of anxiety, stress, whatever.
Yeah.
But the normal ones, so symptoms of anxiety in men, pounding or racing heart. Okay. That, I mean, if you're nervous suddenly because you hear a loud noise and you start getting your heart up, or you're watching a scary movie and your heart rate goes up, you don't have anxiety.
No.
Like you don't have GAD.
Yeah.
Generalized anxiety disorder is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But the pounding and racing heart, what they're talking about is every day you go through those little things that happen where most people go, oh, that happened. Every little thing makes your heart beat a little bit heavier.
Yes.
And you're like, why am I getting so nervous about this?
Yeah.
Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't like, you're coming up to a light and it turns yellow and you don't know whether to go through or not. You know, that moment where you're like, do I go? Do I not?
Yeah.
When you're okay, you can make a rational decision and you don't usually have a heart attack thinking about whether to go through the light or not.
Yeah.
When you have GAD, like generalized anxiety disorder, in a situation like that, quite often you will start to have a panic attack.
Yeah.
Over something simple like that. You'll be like, oh my God, what do I do? What if I try to go through in this? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Yeah.
Right? That kind of thing. That's what they're talking about with the pounding heart. So
Yes.
all the time over little silly things or things that you would normally think are silly, and suddenly you're having anxiety and stress and panic over it.
Yeah.
Right? So excessive sweating.
Yeah.
Muscle tension, like I talked about, joint aches, things like that. That's a big one with anxiety.
I gotta tell you, fucking, there's been so many times where I've gone full days and I'm like, man, I don't remember going to the gym. I don't remember getting in that fight, you know, and my joints, my muscles, they're just so damn sore. And it's like, what the hell was I doing? And then I sit back and I think about what the past couple days had been like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I did go to the gym, but I didn't actually go to a physical gym.
Yeah.
I had my anxiety workout.
Yeah.
You know,
for sure. And that's the thing, like,
because obviously I didn't go to the fucking gym. Look how fat I am.
Well, that's why so many people that have anxiety, depression, which again, I say a lot of people have that dual diagnosis. It's almost everybody.
Yeah.
Do I agree maybe that they all do? Like I've met a lot of people that said, oh, the doctor diagnosed me with depression, anxiety. And after working with them for a while, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you don't have depression.
Yeah.
You definitely have anxiety.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're depressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So, but they usually go together hand in hand.
Yes.
But that's why they'll say, people that truly are, they'll say, I feel like I got hit by a fucking Mack truck.
Absolutely.
Because they're exhausted from the depression.
Yeah.
Right? They're dragging their asses. They can barely get off the couch because of the depression. And then with the anxiety, they got muscle tension, muscle aches, all this physical
100%.
hurt, right?
100%.
You feel like you got hit by a fucking Mack truck.
Yeah.
Right? They're being literal.
Yeah.
You know,
you might have got like a full 8 hours sleep the night before, you know, but you've been going and like you're completely sad and upset, you know, like you had the depression shit going on, but then at the same time, while you were completely depressed, you're thinking about different things.
Yeah.
And so the anxiety's there, your heart rate's going, you know, so you might be sitting still doing nothing, but you're having a full workout at that time. Your heart rate's just going and your muscles are tensing and, you know, like contracting and releasing.
Right.
And you're being sad all at the same time. And the next day you're like, okay, I feel, wow, like shit. You know?
Sorry, I'm just
yeah.
I want to do this really quickly with the audience.
Okay.
But let me finish this list. It's almost
yes.
So dizziness and vertigo. Dizziness and vertigo is a panic attack. So if you're having a panic attack, you will get very dizzy. Well, not everybody. Again, every panic attack is different.
Yeah.
But a lot of people report with anxiety that they get very dizzy and a vertigo feeling like they're drunk.
Oh.
Very, very badly, and to the point it's debilitating. Like they can't walk around.
Yeah.
They can't go anywhere. They can't drive.
Yes.
Because they're really, really fucking dizzy.
Yeah.
So that's another big one. But that's more like, okay, I'm in a full-out panic attack now.
Yeah.
And people, that's the thing that people go to the hospital and like, I think I'm having a heart attack.
Yes.
Because usually with that dizziness, they get the shortness of breath. They feel like they're not breathing. And they quite often get the chest pains.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, I'm dying.
I remember one of my actually, I believe it was the first time I actually had the full panic attack because of anxiety and the stress. And basically, I had been triggered, right? Something fucking set me off. Something set me off. I was at Pizza, and we just put in our order. And then all of a sudden, there was a couple extra people that showed up into Pizza.
Right.
These people did nothing, absolutely nothing. They just came in to order their pizza. But something about them coming in, something about them getting in my space and stuff like this triggered something in me. And then it was a full-blown panic attack. My wife's like, holy shit, are you all right? And I'm like, no, I got to go now.
Right.
And she's like, well, how about we wait for the pizza? I'm like, no, I can't. I have to go now.
Yeah.
You know, and I couldn't be there. She's like, well, do you want to just wait in the truck? I'm like, no, I need to go home. I need to be home right fucking now.
That's a panic attack.
You know, and
sure.
shit like this. Like, I was dizzy. I couldn't do anything, you know. And so my wife just told him, I'll come back for the pizza. And we went to get out into the vehicle. And she's like, well, here, just drive us home. And I'm like, no, I can't drive. I cannot drive.
Yep.
So she had to drive me home. I went home. I crawled in the bed.
Yep.
I crawled in the bed right there. My wife went back, got the pizza, and then fed the family.
Yeah.
You know, but I couldn't. It was the scariest thing that had ever happened to me in my entire life.
Yeah, and people, that's why so many go to the hospital, because they literally think they're dying.
Yeah.
And you do. You feel like you're having a heart or something major is wrong.
Oh, definitely.
Right. And then you get all hooked up and everything. And then, like, you know, an hour after they've finished all the tests, they're like, have you ever had a panic attack before?
Yeah.
Have you ever had anxiety issues? No. And they're like, well, you just had your first. And you're like, that was a panic attack? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And then you feel embarrassed and like, oh, really? Shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Then you wish it was a heart attack
Yeah.
so that you could be cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for sure. So then the rest kind of combines with the shortness of breath, insomnia, and then panic attacks.
Yeah.
A lot of feelings of dread. Everything is a big deal. Everything is end times. Everything's over, and it causes that heaviness in your chest, that nervousness, or some people talk about like tightening of the stomach and nausea, right? Like getting worked up over everything.
Yeah.
So the GAD, just really quickly, I'll go through this. I'll go through the GAD test just to give people an example.
Okay, why don't you do it on me?
Okay.
We'll do it on me, and we'll find out
how bad you
if
are.
I got general anxiety disorder.
Yep, general anxiety disorder. So they call this the GAD-7. You can look it up, just GAD-7.
Right.
Okay, and that's the main test that every doctor or whatever use as a start.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is not a full diagnosis, folks.
Yes, it is. For Greg, it is. I'll diagnose Greg, but nobody else.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is your options are not at all.
Yes.
Several days, more than half the days, are nearly every day.
Oh, it's one of these tests.
Yes.
I fucking hate these tests
So,
because
just do the best you can.
Yeah.
The best answer, okay? So feeling nervous, anxious, or on edge. Not at all. Several days, more than half the days, nearly every day.
Sorry, this is within a week span?
Within a 2-week span.
2-week span?
They tell you.
Sorry, what were my options again?
So you're feeling nervous and anxious or on edge.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
Several days, more than half the days, or nearly every day.
Let's go with the 2 there. The second one.
Several days?
Several days.
Several days. Okay.
Several days.
So days.
Yeah.
Not being able to stop or control worrying. Okay, so do you understand that question?
Yeah.
So you just keep worrying no matter what. Okay.
Yeah.
Not at all. Several days, more than half the days, or nearly every day.
More than half the days.
More than half the days?
Yeah.
Okay. Worrying too much about different things. So you constantly worrying about a whole bunch of different shit. Like all mashing together. And just constant like fucking train rolling through your brain.
Yeah. Should I be cleaning the house? Should I be going and doing this?
Right.
Should I have this done? Should I go, do I need to get food right now?
Did I
Oh
pay
my God.
that bill?
Do I have
Did
to
I
go
do
to
this?
do I have to go to get food?
Yep.
Shit. Do I have to go to Walmart?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
worrying and making it make you work yourself up over it.
Yeah.
Right? So not at all.
Mm-hmm.
Several days, more than half days, nearly every day.
More than half days.
More than half the days?
Yeah.
Okay. You have trouble relaxing. I can answer this one for you.
And what's the answer?
Nearly every day.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
You know what? I will go with more than half. I'll go with more
half.
than half because there's days where I'm just like, fuck this. I'm relaxing, doing nothing.
Nothing. All right.
Actually, but here's the funny thing.
But do you actually relax during those days? Are you still thinking about what maybe
Or
you
I'm just
should
being
be
lazy.
doing?
Yeah.
Or things that maybe you didn't get to that, oh my God, now I got to do that tomorrow and add it to.
You know what? I find that those days that I want to just sit on the couch and do nothing and be fucking lazy, I distract the shit out of myself while I'm doing it so that I can't think of anything else.
Right.
Like, I watch TV, which a lot of people do nowadays the same kind of way as I do. Watch TV while playing a video game on my phone.
Oh my God. I can't do that.
That's what I do. Sometimes I miss half of what the TV show is, but that's what I do. I completely distract myself so I can't think of anything else.
Okay.
But I'm going to go with the more than half the days for that one.
More than half the days?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go with more than half the days on that one.
All right. Fair enough. So that was trouble relaxing, right? Oh, shit.
Yeah, that was the trouble relaxing.
Trouble relaxing. Okay, yeah. So the next one is being so restless that it's hard to sit still. So that's like you have a hard time sitting for a long period of time because, I got to get up and go do this. Or I should get up and do this.
No, I can be super lazy.
You can be super lazy?
I can be super, super lazy and not fucking move.
Okay, 1. I just want to make sure I'm 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So not at all?
No. The second was some days.
Several days?
Several days.
Whatever that means. I think that means some days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Becoming easily annoyed or irritable. You can't even fuck with me on this one. I already know this one.
Gee, can we go with 5 on that one? Yes. Easily annoyed almost every fucking day.
Okay.
Almost every fucking day.
So nearly every day.
Yeah. Nearly every day I am beyond annoyed with somebody somewhere. I will go and, because here's the other thing. I go and I will put on that mask, right? I will put on that mask, put a happy, cheery face on, be smiling and laughing with everybody. And then as soon as I can get behind closed doors, the mask comes off and I am a grumpy motherfucker.
Me and you are the same with that. We both get very annoyed and irritated very quickly.
Yes.
It's a downfall for us for sure.
Yeah. I don't know how we're doing this.
No, I don't either.
Yeah.
Several days. Oh, wait. No, that's several days. This is nearly every day. Oh, no. This is several days. Nearly every day. Okay, last question. Number 7.
Yeah.
So feeling afraid as if something awful might happen. So this, what I was explaining when I took this in school was, because everybody goes, well, what do you mean by something awful? Like nothing awful happens every single day.
Yeah.
So what I would say is if you feel something awful is happening every day, then you probably have depression because that's a depressed thing.
Yeah.
But basically it means you're afraid of shit that you really shouldn't be afraid of. So like you forgot to pay your bill.
Yeah.
And now you can't sleep all night because you didn't pay one bill.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like some people go, oh shit, I better do that tomorrow. And then they go to sleep.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh my God, I didn't pay that bill. Oh, I'm an idiot. Now, like, what's going to happen? Like, now I got to get up tomorrow. What if I forget tomorrow? Now it's going to be like that constant worry about things that, so when you think awful, don't think like,
no,
you're witnessing some horrific thing every day.
Oh my God, there's going to be an earthquake tomorrow.
Right.
Oh my God, this is happening here. Right. Another terrorist attack is happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a whole other fucking kind of diagnosis.
That's paranoia. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so what are my options again? I know we've done this like 6 times already, but you're about to go fucking full annoyed on me, but
no. So you're feeling afraid that something awful might happen. So it might happen. So
Yeah.
again, I didn't pay that bill, so now my lights are going to get shut off. My wife will leave me
Yeah.
over something little.
Right.
So again, not at all. Several days, more than half days. Nearly.
Let's go with several days on that in a
Several
2-week
days.
span for me.
Okay, several days. So you scored an 11 out of 21.
Yeah.
Okay, 21. So at the bottom of each test, it tells you, so scores of 5, 10, and 15 are taken as cutoff points. Okay?
Yeah.
So I already know this, but I'm still looking at it, aren't I? Yes, I am. Because I always forget exactly. So basically, you're borderline.
Mm-hmm.
You're not probably suffering from major anxiety disorder,
Right.
but you're at that point where you maybe should start paying more attention.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't hurt to probably talk to somebody.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I know that I talk with my doc every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, I have a doctor's appointment. She's absolutely phenomenal. Sometimes we just shoot the shit, right? Like going for coffee with somebody, you know, and then every once in a while I'll bring up something. She'll be like, okay, you know what? Let's have a look at this one, right? But I talk to her anyways. You know, I'm having a good day, having a bad day. I've had a bad couple of weeks, had a good couple of weeks, right? I tell her everything that's going on, you know, and she'll give me the right direction of where to go on that. And while I may not have, or while I may be borderline on this, I do know for a fact I have been diagnosed with PTSD, which does encompass a lot of things. So I might not have GAD, right? But part of my PTSD is the anxiety stuff. So I have, you know, a whole bunch of the little things here and there. They're all around as part of the PTSD.
Of course.
You know,
well, and anxiety is a huge part of PTSD.
Absolutely.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
But if I was your therapist,
yeah,
right, say I was counseling you and I did this test with you, right? I quite often do these little tests just to kind of it helps me narrow shit down.
Absolutely.
And what I mean by that, so this says overall you have moderate anxiety.
Yes.
Right. So I would say, okay, well, he has moderate. So what is his big issues here?
Yeah.
So I'm looking through the line. I'm like, oh, he becomes easily annoyed and irritable about everything.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to dig. Why do you get so annoyed and irritated over everything? And I'm going to look at from what happened to you when you were young.
Yeah.
What happened to you here? And then I'm going to somewhere along the line maybe figure out that you have a hard time with losing control.
Yes.
Right? You like to have control because at some point in your life you felt like you had no control.
Yeah.
That's usually the reason, by the way, for most people.
Yeah.
For that one. So you become angry.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what bothers you about giving? I'm not doing this for real. I'm just saying,
yeah.
But you know, like what bothers?
I could answer it though.
What bothers you or makes you feel you don't want to give up that piece of feeling controlled in a situation, that feeling of needing to be that like in. And I'm not saying this is you. I'm just saying this is through work.
Well, actually, you're pretty fucking bang on because I know me and my doc have talked about this many times, and I do have a control issue.
Right.
I really do. You know, I try to allow people to, you know, have control, allow people to run with things and do stuff. But I'm sitting there and it's like, here, why don't you do this? I'm sitting there going, oh, please do it the way I thought it was going to be done. Please do it the way I thought it was going to be done. You know, and it is difficult for me. It is very much is.
So then, you know, I would look at, okay, well, how are we going to get you out of that? And usually starting with small things. What do you feel you can give up control on?
Yeah,
that wouldn't bother you, right? Right. And often that's what it is.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, let's think of something really, really little and insignificant.
Yeah.
Right. And for some people, it's like, you know, well, I'm the only one that I trust to clean my bathroom because I hate how it looks when other people clean it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how important is it? Do you think you can manage to allow somebody else to do it and be okay with that?
Yeah.
And you find little things, right? And I say this because I'm trying to explain to people out there that therapy isn't really it's not this crying game. It's not.
No.
We don't look a lot at the past. We don't look a lot at little things. We are trying to get you from A to B to C to D to E as fast as possible so that you can kind of move on.
Yeah.
And you may never be able to give up complete control in areas.
Yeah.
That's okay. But when you can't give up control in anything, that's a major health issue.
Yes.
Because you're always going to be amped.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of fucking control out there.
Oh, fuck yeah.
right? And so, especially when it's every little thing.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, let's start with little things.
Mhm.
And then next time I talk to you, so did you give that up? How did
Yeah.
it feel? What did you go through? Was it easy enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, I managed. I mean, it wasn't that bad. I got a little bit like, but I left it.
Yeah.
Okay, let it happen again. And then next time, yeah, I'm fine with it. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Take me a level up.
Yeah.
Right? I can't stand when other people fucking drive.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I want that wheel. Okay.
Yeah.
Next time you go for a ride, let somebody else drive.
Yeah.
Go through it.
Yeah.
Get through it. Realize that 99, 98% of people that have been driving as long as you have will get you there in one piece.
Absolutely.
It may not be the roads that you like.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. So,
Yeah.
all that stuff. So, I mean, yeah, you gotta, that's a lot of what like therapy is. And I, you know, with a lot of guys out there, like I say, I think a lot of them believe that therapy is simply, I'm going to get the tissue box out. I'm going to go over all my problems and I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
And that sometimes is part of therapy. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it's great because a therapist is somebody that you look at that you're just supposed to like puke on.
Yeah.
That's what I say to people, because me as a counselor, you come to me, I can't go tell anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Likely, I don't know anybody that you know anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
But legally, I can't say shit. So anything
No.
you tell me
Yeah.
is between me and you. It's like you telling that wall,
Yeah.
right? And you just puke it all out, get it out of you, and get some tips.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really all it is.
And I really, like, I believe so hard in the therapy.
Mhm.
I really do. I really do. I came back from my second tour of Afghanistan, and I'd already known that something wasn't quite right. My wife picked up on it right away,
Mhm.
you know, and luckily I'd already seen what other soldiers had gone through where they're like, nah, fuck this. I'm fine. I can just soldier on. And luckily for myself, I said, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to allow that to happen. I'm going to get the help immediately.
Mhm.
And I went for the help immediately,
Mhm.
you know, and I'm like, I will do whatever it takes. I ended up going and doing the program up at Homewood in Guelph, the post-traumatic stress recovery program.
Yep.
So I went to the Nut House for a full 8 weeks.
Yep.
Best thing I could have done.
Yeah.
It was the absolute best thing I could have done. I got a lot of help while I was there, how to deal with different things. And the thing is when I went to go to Homewood to do the stuff, I was at that point where I'm like, something's wrong with me. I need to be fixed. I don't care how much flower power hippie shit they want me to fucking do. I will do that. If they just want to hook me up to car batteries and go, you're good. Fucking, I was game for it. I wanted to make sure that I was going to be the best husband, the best father that I possibly could be,
Mhm.
you know, for my family.
Yeah.
You know, because I knew what it was doing to me. I knew what more could happen. And I didn't want that. I wanted to be there for my family.
Right.
So I took that step and I said, I'm not going to let this happen. I'm going to do everything I can to prevent this from happening.
Yep.
I really, really wish others would do the same.
Well, and when
You know?
yeah, and a lot of men will not do it.
No.
They won't take that step. They'll burden themselves
Yeah.
and torture themselves
Mhm.
and lose everything. Lose
Yeah.
their family, lose their jobs, lose their homes, lose everything, and quite often in the end lose their lives
Yeah.
through suicide.
Yeah.
Right? Because they just can't handle it anymore. They can't take
Yeah.
it anymore. And that's the thing. And what you said there really quickly too is so important. If you have somebody that you trust, that you know loves you, a family member, a friend, whatever it is,
Yeah.
say to you, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Listen to them.
Yeah.
If you know they love you and have your best interest at heart and they're not
Yeah.
just trying to be an asshole,
Yeah.
and they're telling you that don't fight that.
No.
Don't be like, there's nothing wrong. What the hell are you talking about? Listen to especially if you know they're looking out for you.
Yeah.
Be like, well, what do you notice? Because
Yeah.
maybe you're, like you say, you start to realize, okay, yeah, I'm not quite feeling like myself.
Yeah.
So, you know, when your wife or kids or whatever come to you and say, like, what the hell is going on? Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Well, what have you noticed?
Yeah.
What's different?
Absolutely.
Oh, well, you're acting like this. You're not getting out of bed. You're not, like you just look like shit. You like
Yeah.
whatever, right? Be like, okay, because I don't feel good,
No.
and then take that as a okay. It's I need to go get some help.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But you know what? As I said, we're going to be doing a lot of talks. We're turning this into a series because we had enough people reach out to us, you know, after our one episode or the one episode there, saying, listen, you know, if you guys can continue doing this because what you did there was really awesome. So we're not going to put out, you know, the entire series 1 week after another.
No.
There, that'd be hard on us, honestly,
Yes.
and
on everybody.
hard on
else.
everybody to listen to.
Yeah.
But we are running a series now that is going to talk about mental health, and in particular, men's mental health, because we just do not believe that there is enough talk about men's mental health. It's a very, very serious subject, as you've seen from the stats that are out there. 75% of all suicides are men.
Mm-hmm.
That
Scary.
It's horrifying. It's absolutely horrifying. We want to be able to see more people, more men, getting the help that they need. Manning the fuck up and asking for help. That you want to be a fucking man, that's how you do it. You ask for the help, you know. Just do it. It's really simple. Okay. We're going to be running this series. This week was anxiety and depression. We're going to talk about other things. Just keep your ears open for it. We'll do it. Hit the subscribe and bell icon there. I'm having a hard time thinking, folks. I got a lot of shit going on in my head right now just from this. But hit that subscribe bell icon, leave a comment, talk to us. You know, follow us on all our other stuff there, and just be there for one another. Listen to each other. And if somebody tells you, listen, should probably get looked at. And remember, we're not here to fucking diagnose you. We're not the fucking professionals. The test that Nate just gave me to find out if I have GAD, okay, general anxiety disorder, okay, that's cool and all, but a professional, a doctor, needs to fucking go and tell you what you got, what's going on.
Absolutely.
So get out there, do what you got to do, get the help that you need. We want to see you all around, and we'll talk to you later.
Later.
I got no voice to pick with you.